Hi, my name is Leah Morris, and welcome to my channel where I share music and messages that are meaningful to me and hopefully to you so that we can have the opportunity to connect over these ideas. Today, I've got a question from Vanessa, a really wonderful question that I know opens the opportunity for a lot of scientific and spiritual discussion, but I'm just going to breeze over the surface of my answer in the moment. Vanessa asked, what is it about music that allows us to connect so deeply to the music itself and to each other when we share in the music? So as I mentioned, there are scientific studies that are taking place and have taken place that have proven, for example, the impact of emotional sounds, emotional words that are imbued with anger and hatred and fear on ice crystals. And likewise, when the words are imbued with messages of love and peace, the ice crystals take on different shapes, which suggests that there's something in the energy of those words, of those emotions, that's having an impact on the ice crystals, right? I would share from my experience of being a little girl growing up in church. Everyone singing the same song, singing harmonies, right? There's just something about engaging in something together that reminds us that we are actually one cohesive being, right? Now, of course, we can take that togetherness and do positive things that bring us closer. We can use that togetherness to convince ourselves that we are separate from others, right? So we can have our this is us and that's them, or we can use that moment to recognize that there is no them, that there's only us. What I also recognize is that when we sing, especially intentionally, but also just for the joy of it, right? Just take any Stevie Wonder song, and that song itself, because of the melody, because of the lyric, is going to have a certain frequency, right? So when we are singing that song or listening to that song, if we're truly engaged in it, engaged in the melody and the message, then we are on the same frequency of that song. And so if we sing that song with Stevie's recording and someone else comes into the room and they start singing the song, or we're in a concert and Stevie's singing it and we're all singing it, we are all resonating on the same frequency at that moment, even if we're tone deaf and we're missing the notes. The point is that there is this, I would call it a living essence in the music that we all get the opportunity to tap into and to become at the same time. It's kind of similar to the principle people talk about if someone walks into the room in a bad mood, that it has that same impact of people. It brings the frequency or the vibration in the room. It's like the Beach Boys and their good vibrations. It's not all esoteric hoo-ha or whatever you want to call it. There is evidence that frequency, like the hitting of a tuning fork, this is something that allows us to find a common thread, a common ground, a common way of expressing and being. So Vanessa, that's the super long way of saying, I believe and have experienced that music creates a template, an energetic template that we can assume and share, and that when we engage in music, that we are at the same frequency as the composer when they created it, as the muse when they inspired it, as anyone else who ever sings it throughout the history of time, or anyone else who ever plays it or engages in that music. And so what's happening is something that is probably can be scientifically explained and also transcends what can scientifically be explained. But the bottom line of it, as far as I'm concerned, is that we are one, and we have the opportunity at any time to remember that. Music is one of the ways that we can do that. Thank you for the question. If you are listening to this and you have more information than I do, you can tell that wasn't a very scientific answer. That was my off-the-cuff musings about that idea. But if you have thoughts, experiences, or scientific information, please share in the comments and let us know what you know or what you think or perceive about why music has such a power to connect us. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, to be in touch, email me, respond to the other people who write in the chat with love and respect. And I look forward to speaking with you, singing with you again soon. Take care.